Okay. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. You're listening to us explain a little bit about the COI Network and their upcoming event. It's called the Lifestyle Show, and it is a trade show that will be based in uh, Vancouver at the Wises Hall. Um, Chad, I'm going to bring you in early. What's the date on the event?
It's going to be on March 31st at the Heritage Hall in Vancouver.
March 31st at the Heritage Hall. Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yes.
thought you said it was the Wise Hall. Oh,
No worries at
let's see,
all.
we'll
Yeah,
get that.
Heritage Hall on Main Street, you bet.
Yeah. Okay. Um, and of course, there's a bit of a story behind why you created the lifestyle show. So why don't you go ahead and start telling us that?
Yeah, for sure. So, with the group of networkers that we have, we talked about last, probably spring and summer, about getting ourselves a little bit more public. We wanted to focus on not just helping each other get business, but also becoming kind of more part of the community itself. Networking is very internal based, and it's all about finding people to get referrals and things like that. But we're about building really good relationships with each other, about building quality relationships. And we wanted to do that with the community as well. So, hence the lifestyle show. And the lifestyle show just came into play with talking about how can we get out to the community and what can we do to support that community. And that's kind of where it birthed from.
Okay. So, we of course have a couple other people that you brought along with us, and let me get to some introductions. Um, one one person who is very familiar to our listeners here on Depictions Media through the Community Living Radio Project, Robin Matak, as we built her there as a relationship expert, and she has never finished her list of questions that we've asked her. She's just a wonderful speaker and probably a great asset to your networking group. And newcomer to Depictions Media Radio is Jeremy Long. Jeremy, why don't you quickly tell us a little bit about yourself?
Oh yeah, for sure. So I'm a empowerment coach, and I just am launching my business currently. I have had a podcast on the air over the last year called Journey to Worthy, and I'm all about empowering people to make good choices in their lives.
Great. Uh, that sounds like a wonderful asset to any networking group. Um, so, Chad, how did you make the COI just start to come together? Where you find high quality people and coaches like Robin and Jeremy?
So we started almost 2 years ago now with another networker that had recruited me when I was at a trade show, oddly enough. And I filled out this form that for getting some advice for some financials. And this individual helped co-start the group with me. And we just really focused on getting people from multiple industries, making sure everyone was in something different so we could help each other out. And we kind of built on that over the years into kind of the group we are now, and making sure that we've got right fit people for the group to actually help build business relationships together.
Great. So, let's go back to Jeremy a second. Jeremy, so what has COI brought to you in your business?
Yeah, so when I started with COI, I was actually a little unsure what direction my business was going, and so I guess the benefits of COI is just really some people that are ahead of me when it comes to being an entrepreneur, being a solopreneur, offering a little bit of the guidance, but also an opportunity to ask questions and to bounce ideas off of. It's a quite close knit group of people that we kind of stand for one another, and I've been learning a lot from what I've seen from the other members.
Okay, for instance, what are some of the things that you've learned and that have really helped you?
Well, part of it was a lot of the sort of social media strategies. There was some presentations last year that were really beneficial in how I present myself. Also, some experience in public speaking. I was invited to co-host for a little bit of time, so I was able to get my hands dirty, I guess, so to speak, when it comes to organizing a group and having a little bit of back and forth when it comes to bouncing ideas off around each other's businesses.
Mm. So, Robin, what are some of the really big things that you've gotten?
Yeah, so what I like about our group is that we're really about building relationships. So people feel really comfortable asking questions and really getting to know people on a deeper level, so that it's not a place where it's just about the business. So there's that support as well. So, for example, checking out each other's services, helping them to find people that might be a good fit for them, and just being able to ask questions and bring in speakers and other resources that we can help each other out with.
Well, what kind of resources?
We had a business coach come in and talk about some things that would be helpful to build our businesses. He also did a bit on the public speaking, and we had the social media people, and we've had, actually quite a few different people from some of the social media.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also allow each of us to present to our group. So as new people come in, we get to learn more about each individual and what opportunities they provide and who they can help with their services. So it's a way to get to know people so that we have a longer time period rather than some of the other ones where you get your 30 seconds to say what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Here we give people a longer time period where we actually delve into more about what the services actually involves and get to experience some of it.
Okay, great. Now, Chad, you come from a slightly different world. You're not you're not a coach, whereas Robin and Jeremy are. You're a interior designer. Is that right?
That is correct. Yes.
So, how do you fit in with two coaches? How does that work out?
Well, I would definitely say my background, not just in design, but in a lot of the things I've done in my life, has kind of brought me to where I am now. I have a lot of management and training background, and been someone who enjoys public speaking in general. So in leading the group, that's how it's really worked with one another, is getting people who are, natural leaders to be part of our group. And that's kind of where it started for me. I mean, yes, now I focus on running a business, but I do a lot outside of that as well. And I'm used to doing that. And so helping lead groups and teams is just something that's always been a natural thing for me.
Okay, so all three of you have kind of alluded to a common thread with the public speaking and putting yourself out there as a business owner and putting your value out there so that the public can actually see it. Is that one of the strong points that you try to teach each other through this network?
Yeah, I can
jump in.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I talk a lot, so you go.
I was going to say that it's definitely part of it. I think it doesn't necessarily come down to the actual skills, but it's more around how do we show up as a business owner? What is our presentation? And some parts of that are public speaking. I think what connects us more is actually brings us to the lifestyle show, because the journey of every person's life takes you down this path of, you've got all these different things that sort of come up in front of you. And so at some point you might wander through part of your life and need a coach. or you want to get in touch with your spirituality and you need a spiritual coach.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you're buying a home and you want to get someone to help you with designing it. And so that's what sort of really creates the cohesion in the COI network, because we all come from such different areas, and that's why we complement one another. And it really, that's what the lifestyle show is about too. It's like taking a journey through every man's life or every woman's life, and then the things you might need along the way.
Okay, so Chad, you were going to add into that, and then I have a question about how important diversity is to the group itself.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to mention and add on to what Jeremy had said, definitely he's right. Like, the lifestyle show was birthed from talking about how can we publicly get out there together, but what is a journey of someone's life and where can they be, what process are they in together, and that also really helped us for the lifestyle show. So maybe someone's going through struggles and they need a coach, or maybe they're buying their first home and they need a designer or a real estate agent or a mortgage broker, and they don't know where to go. Our group has made this event focused around being at different stages of your life and how a community of small business owners that are local can actually support that community back. So I just wanted to comment to that. In regards to diversity in the group, we really focus on people who can match our personalities. Even though we're a nonprofit association, we're not registered in anything. I changed a lot of the dynamic by ensuring that I interview people for the group. Jeremy can attest to that as one of our most recent members, because I want to make sure that I find the right fit for our group based on the existing members that are there and how their personalities will fit with one another, how I feel like they can work with one another, how they can bring different parts of themselves to benefit.
Okay.
I think we lost him.
Chad, you still there? It says one of the wonderful things about radio. Okay, so we'll just keep pushing forward. I'm sure Chad will get back in with us in a second.
I'm here.
Oh, you're here. Okay.
Yes. Sorry, did all of that cut out that I just said?
No, just the end. The last 10 seconds or so.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So just finish off again. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So just in terms of the diversity side, Jeremy, as I mentioned, can attest to that, is we make sure that we right fit people for our existing group, because we want to ensure that the people that we have are going to fit with our members. They're going to be able to be well-spoken. They bring something to the group. They get something out of the group, and they're cohesive with us, because we want to be a community of people that really support one another. We don't just want anyone in that group. So that's why I focus on an interview process to right fit everyone to that community.
I think, Michael, I'm curious, what did you mean by diversity?
Diversity means that while you and Robin are essentially coach people, but you come at it from two different ways. And with the fact that Jeremy Chad is a interior designer, that's a totally different business altogether. And it sounds like you're trying to form a family of businesses, so that so when you go public to the community with it, that you have like a number of different services that people can pick from, and they can just shop around through your network to find what they need to enhance the value of their lives, right?
Totally.
Yeah. That's what it does. That define diversity the same way you guys define it?
Well, it's I think like that's definitely an accurate way to define sort of who we are as a group. I feel like we're very diverse and dynamic, and we've got people that are from all different sorts of areas, and we're looking to grow further too, with people that own companies in completely different areas than what we're used to, because we do want that dynamic of sort of diversity in the group.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if Robin, you don't mind stating as well, I mean, you're an original member like myself as part of the group, and I'd love to, for you to even state, how has the diversity in that group kind of really benefited you?
Yeah, so when we first started, the other person was in life insurance. And so, as part of her way to get herself known out there, she started the group. So, she was the catalyst for all of us coming together. And it was interesting because we had a couple different kind of iterations. Like, there was a couple of different meetings and different people came. And it was, what do we want this group to be? And it became much more collaborative rather than the kind of some of the other groups out there that require referrals, or there's certain criteria and restrictions and things that you have to do each time. So we came up with a format that really allows us to really do the connection between us. So people who came in originally that really it's all business and it's not about relationship ended up leaving fairly quickly because it wasn't the same kind of messaging or group that they wanted. And so what I found with our group is because it's more collaborative, we can have different discussions, we can go deeper on certain topics, and we can support each other's in different ways. So being in the relationship field, it feels much better to me to have that relationship building rather than just the business. It's important to have both. And I like to have that solid base. So I'm not referring to someone I don't know or don't necessarily have enough information to say whether I could recommend them, because to me, that's part of the integrity. Mm-hmm. And if I don't have that, that doesn't feel good to me.
Okay. I find that very interesting. Did you say that? Because isn't it easier for you to refer somebody if you have a actual relationship with them?
Absolutely.
And you know more about that person, and if you have a relationship with the person that you're trying to refer a person to, and you have a relationship with the person that you're referring, you know that okay, well, while they may actually be able to solve that person's problem, they may not work well together, so you wouldn't do the referral. But if right. you know that they're going to work together, you're going to do the referral, right?
Yeah, I think it's really important, and I mean, we all have choice, and if we see that they're a good fit, or even just to see what their services are. Like sometimes it could be, get together and spend some time outside of the group and see if it's a right fit even within our group, or to other people outside of the group. So it is important to have that right fit and not take it personally if they don't end up doing business together. Like to me, we're all different in what we need. And once we get underneath to what the real need is, sometimes when we're first connecting, it can be kind of the surface. Mm-hmm. And then when we speak and delve into it further, there's more of a understanding of what that need is. So it may or may not fit. So having the capacity to not feel that we have to, or that it's a failure if those people don't connect. So the possibility is there, and really having that freedom to not feel tied to that or required to do that, I think is important.
Okay. Chad, now you said for future members, you have created an interview process. Is that and that, of course, is that leaned towards making sure that the person that you're bringing in feels warm and welcome, and as well as making sure that that everyone's going to work together well?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely part of the process for sure. We invite people in to come in and do 2 guest spots first before they become members, because we want people to see what our group is about, see how they feel about it, and see how we feel about them. So it kind of exposes them to the other members, and being able to right fit someone makes that a lot easier when I go through that process for sure.
Okay. Jeremy, I'm going to ask you to put you on the hot seat now. You're the new person. You're the new guy on the block. Do you feel warm and welcome, and how warm and welcome do you feel?
Well, Chad and I had a prior relationship existing before joining the group, so he exposed me to the group, and I had him on my podcast last year, and I attended an event, and it was very exciting, and there was someone from Hootsuite speaking, and it was really attractive, the idea of joining, and I didn't join right away because I had some other things on the go, and so maybe 6 months had gone by, and Chad and I stayed in contact, and then we did go through that interview process, and I was invited to the group. But there was an element of what can we do for you and what can you do for us. So it turns into a win-win business relationship, which is what I was looking for. That's what made it attractive. It's that we're all held accountable to each other.
Okay, great. Okay, so you all have an exciting event coming up. So let's dive into that. What is going to happen at this event?
Yeah, I mean, quite a lot for sure. So we're still signing people up and vendors because people are still coming to us about wanting to be part of the show, which is really exciting. We essentially, so the lifestyle show itself, it's about bringing a community of small business owners together to support local needs of community members. So could be family, could be singles, could be business owners, could be networkers, could be anyone who's looking to come to an event that has a ton of products and services to choose from. We've got food trucks, we've got public speakers. So it essentially is a trade show style event, but it's not just focused on one lane. It's focused on the whole journey of someone's life, hence why we diversified out and actually created the show so that we can showcase multiple levels of service available, multiple products available, and then having some fun in there too with our public speakers and then our food vendors as well. We've got a few that have signed up, and we're going to have that live from the actual event. So it's really exciting, and we can't wait to get this launched out there and show ourselves to the community and support everyone.
So what are you hoping is it will be the really big ending to with this show? What do you want the public to get out of this?
We want them to feel like they've come to a place where even out of all of the vendors we have, if they have one meaningful experience with a speaker, with getting a product from someone, that's impact to me. It's about someone being able to come in and say, I didn't realize I needed this, and I got something amazing out of it. Or I knew that one of these individuals could help me, and they really brought something to me as a local service provider. And that's what we want out of it. It's not about getting thousands of sales. It's about showcasing our businesses to a community of people that need help in different parts of their life, but also just something to be engaged with in the actual community.
Okay. So, okay, let's start with the food because I like to eat. What kind of food trucks are you going to have?
Well, that's top secret. I can't give that all away.
Oh, darn.
I'm kidding. So we have a food truck called the Rolling Cashew that's coming in. They're going to be showcasing a lot of their product. We've got Vietnamese fusion that's coming in. We've got a burger place that's coming in. We've even got one of our members who has, actually two of them, who have this really cool cookie dough company called a pre-baked cookie dough company. And then we have another one of our members, Audrey, who has her Play Cafe, who sells a little bit of baked goods through there as well. So we've got a variety of product to choose from, which is really exciting. So whether you've got sweet taste, you got some savory, you want to just splurge, we've got it all covered.
Okay, so what are some of the other vendors? What are some of the other services that are actually going to be displayed throughout the show?
Yeah, we've got quite a bit. We've got, well, obviously, even starting on like services side. So we've got myself, who's an interior designer. We've got real estate and mortgage brokerage. We've got a huge side of health and wellness that Jeremy and Robin are supporting. We've got yoga in there. We've got some holistic food vendor. We've got so many, or nutritionists, sorry. We've got various different brands available. We even got this lady who had just signed up yesterday, which is amazing. Robin referred this one over to me, called LifeMark Residences, and they are focused on speaking to the younger generation when your parents and your grandparents are needing a great facility to live their golden years out, essentially. So we've got tons to choose from, and I think that's what makes it such a great community event.
Okay. So what about speakers? What are we going to be speaking about?
Well, Robin and Jeremy are both going to be speaking, which is great. So the speaking side of it is very health and wellness focused for sure. Mm-hmm. All the people who are going up and speaking will be from the health and wellness side for various things. It's going to be different coaches that are coming in. There's going to be our yoga instructor is going to be doing a talk, our holistic nutritionist, things like that. So quite a variety to choose from. There'll be probably about 6 of them speaking in the event, and it's really exciting. They'll be doing small 15, 20-minute talks and presenting some great activities with people, as well as just kind of getting engaged with the community.
Awesome. Okay, so we're actually winding down to our final minutes here. Okay, so what is the best way for somebody to get their ticket to the show?
Many different avenues, which is great. So the easiest being Eventbrite. Look it up, called The Lifestyle Show. You can check us out with our hashtag on Instagram and Facebook, hashtag YVR Lifestyle Show. We've got a Facebook page set up. We have a website set up. Just look us up, the COINetwork.com or the COI Network on social media. But it's all done through Eventbrite. So if you find us on there, you'll find the links for our tickets. They're free. So come out and enjoy the show. We've got lots to show everyone.
Okay, and how much is this? Is a ticket?
It is free. There's no cost to this.
Wait a second. Did you just say that they're going to get all this value for $0 free?
They are, yeah. And there's going to be tons of prizes. I got to add that in too. Every vendor is going to have something to showcase. We're going to have a huge social media prize. We're going to have a huge group prize. So people can get involved in social and check us out, check out the prizing, and we'll have live prizing there as well, which is really cool.
Okay. So in 30 seconds or less, can each one of you, starting with Robin, say why the public should actually show up to this show up to the Lifestyle Show?
To help you give some perspective on some new things that you might want to add into your life, or see what other ideas might spark some creation or connections for you.
Jeremy.
I'd say that if you are, living in Vancouver and looking to be inspired by local small businesses to support businesses in your area, then you should attend and see if there's something that you might take home with you.
All right. And Chad.
Yeah, so to add on to both of those as well, definitely a fun family and...
Chad, you still there? It did it to him again.
Did you mute him?
No, I didn't mute him. I wonder if he muted himself somehow. It doesn't show mute either.
I'm going to type in the chat.
Yeah. Because I'm
Did
going to
I just
re-edit
cut
this.
off as I said that?
Yeah. Give me your 30. Give me your explanation one more time, Chad.
Oh man, it was so good. I gotta re-rehearse this. No, I'm kidding. Okay, so we want people to add on to what both of them said. We want it to be a fun and engaging event. It's a place for families and individuals, local community to come together to support local businesses, and we want people to get something out of it from so many different levels of their life, and it's really about that journey. It's a journey of how someone is in their life today that we can help them better themselves tomorrow. That's what it's about. We'll see you there.
Awesome. Okay, and the date one more time, Chad.
March 31st from 11 to 3 at Heritage Hall, which is at 3102 Main Street in Vancouver. Get the tickets on Eventbrite in our Facebook group.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks so much, Michael.